Good afternoon. I'm Amanda Pfeffer. This is the Province's Open Line Show, Ontario Today. In this hour, should Canada open the door to Chinese electric vehicles? 1-888-817-8995.
Here are 10 reasons why BYD should be the next car on your driveway.
I truly cannot understand how this car exists in the market and people would not want to buy it.
Behind me is a Neo ET9, and the S-Class should be a little worried.
Perhaps one of the most attractive features of the modern fleet of Chinese electric cars, though, is the price tag. You'll hear this hour how some models of Chinese EVs are selling at a price that can compete with the lowest priced cars available in Canada. You can look, though, but you can't touch. Trade tariffs against Chinese cars are more than 100%, a move Canada introduced last year in lockstep with U.S. policy.
Canada is defending its decision to follow the lead of the U.S. and European Union, an attempt to prevent China from flooding the marketplace with cheap EVs.
We have to make sure that the industries that we build in this country have the ability to get off their feet.
But it came with a heavy price tag. China introduced tariffs against Canadian canola oil. A year later, though, everything's changed. Now we're in a tariff war with the United States, and the Americans have Canada's auto industry in their sights.
Their president wants to destroy our economy, take every single job out of Ontario, out of Canada.
Big announcement by automaker Stellantis that it plans to shift production of a Jeep model from Ontario to south of the border.
The job losses have now begun. The U.S. president and his trade emissaries say Canada's auto market will take a backseat to the American market and is pressuring the big three automakers, Stellantis, GM, and Ford, to move operations to the United States. Meantime, Canada is looking for new opportunities. The Prime Minister's trip to Asia included a meeting with the Chinese president.
The old world order is disappearing and a new one has yet to emerge. Times like this, it's time to be bold, because how we respond will shape Canada's path for decades to come.
Chinese officials to Canada have already indicated that lowering the tariffs on EVs to Canada could end the tariffs on Canadian canola oil to that country. But there are risks opening the door to China to the industry that exists here now. Today, should Canada open the door to Chinese electric cars? Are you Chinese electric car curious? 1-888-817-8995. Again, our phone number, 1-888-817-8995. Should Canada allow Chinese electric vehicles to enter Canada by lowering tariffs? We have two guests with us this hour. Before we get to them, though, let's go to the calls. We've got people very much wanting to talk about this. Let's go to Dan in Sudbury. Dan, go ahead. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. Listen, we've been in lockstep with the Americans for years. They're turning their backs on us. Why are we doing anything to protect their car industry? I understand that, we're going to have some sea change of how we do things here. But if we negotiate with the Chinese and have them come here and build a portion of their cars here, they can be our new partner. It's going to help our canola industry. It's going to help a lot of our industries. And we open up markets with the Chinese to do things like sell Canadian beef. Like, at this point in time, we need to treat the Americans the way they're treating us, as second rate or less important. And the number one thing for Canada is to grow our economy. China's a wonderful place to grow our economy. I'm thinking of the president of Ford in the U.S. is driving a Chinese EV, and his words are, "It's the best car I've ever driven." I don't know why we want to be environmentally friendly. I've owned an EV. I'm in my EV right now. I've had one for 7.5 years. Best car I've ever owned. Why are we making low-cost, environmentally friendly EVs difficult to buy here?
Do you think about perhaps we're in the middle of something right now. We haven't yet lost our negotiations with CUSMA, although they don't look great. This may be part of that negotiation. And in fact, there are people working in Canada right now for the big three. And those factories and those manufacturing plants are still here. So do you have, the original argument was that this was supposed to be to protect the industry that's here now. Do you have some concerns about the timing of doing this, something like this?
U.S. is full steam ahead turning their backs on us. I understand that. I mean, there are good people working in the Canadian auto industry, but what is the solution right now? There's no negotiations going on with the U.S. They've basically said, we're leaving, and many factories like Chrysler has said, we're going to the States, we're leaving, we're leaving. Well, you're leaving? What are we supposed to do? Sit around and wait 3 or 4 years until they're gone, and then we have to start from scratch? It's a very difficult predicament. Maybe we maybe reduce the tariffs on Chinese EVs to 50% and start allowing some of them to come in. And then it's a situation where, oh, well, if you want to continue selling in Canada, Big Three, maybe you need to keep your factories here as well. We can have the best of both worlds if we leverage them against each other. There's nothing that says we can't play them against each other. And in the grand scheme, I believe midterms next year, Trump's neutered and life gets back to normal. But do we wait for that? Do we know that's going to happen?
Right.
We don't.
I want to thank you, Dan, for starting us off in this conversation. I'm
Thanks,
sure
Amanda.
I'm sure that a lot of people of the same mind